Behind me is the Raptor of side-by-sides. I'm going to include a link to the Jorgensen Power Sports website in the description down below. They're here in Richfield, Utah. They also have a Ford store right next to the Power Sports if you're interested in a new Ford. With that being said, let's get right into it. Powering this is a turbocharged 925cc engine putting out 181 horsepower, and it is paired to a CVT. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. Starting with the coloration, this has this satin green, which I think looks absolutely fantastic. It is also equipped with lights. This is street legal, by the way. And look at the accent lighting. That looks really cool too. There's like a little bull bar here up front on top of that. Altogether, you can tell this is a side-by-side that means business. Tire wheel setup is 32 by 10 by 15, and just look at the knobs on these things. On top of that, the wheels obviously aren't massive, which is great for sidewall with the tires, but they still did a pretty design with the metallic gray. This is equipped with live valve Fox shocks, and I love how these springs are painted to match the body color. They're obviously not satin with the finish, but still, that's a cool match. Anyways, this has about 28 inches of travel, which is twice what an F-150 Raptor has from the factory. You of course get Polaris and then RZR there on the side, and then the Pro S decal up above. And here's a quick look at the rear suspension setup with this thing. Again, look how much travel that has. The side profile of this looks crazy with all that travel. Obviously, you're gonna have lots of space for compression, and yeah, it does. Now, out back, we do have tail lights, and then we also have this little cargo compartment, and notice they're like, hey, don't put people back there. I'm sure somebody has done that. But yeah, that adds to the practicality. Now, I will say the exhaust note on this is actually pretty nice. It sounds kind of like a beefy motorcycle. I don't know, I like the deep tone. That is pretty much gonna sum things up for the exterior of the new Pro S. Let's now check out the interior. This comes with an upgraded sound system. You've got speakers there right behind the headrest, which is important, right? It's a loud vehicle, so you're gonna need the sound to be close. We also have these bucket type seats. They're incredibly comfortable, more comfortable than most car seats. Kind of like a rugged finish there on the pedals. Looks like another speaker there for the sound system. Now this is the switch to turn on the lights, and then right next to it is the switch to activate four-wheel drive. So right now it's in two-wheel drive. That's what we'll be using for the street. But yeah, you can just pop it into four-wheel drive with that. And the door is pretty interesting. It actually opens up backwards compared to a door in a car, and then you just have that little button to open and close it. Now the steering wheel is a very compact size, but again, it's a compact vehicle. I noticed that these controls actually change the drive modes, kind of like a Raptor, and then you've got like your volume controls there on the other side. Now the gauge cluster of course has your speed and your RPMs, and then it actually is a digital version of that too in the center with the speed, so also showing your temperature and then fuel as well. And then up top we do have little storage cubbies with this. Passengers definitely gonna need the grab handle, and again they got the green inside. Now this one's got the factory nav screen, which is a nice setup to have. Most people use their phones nowadays, but maybe you won't because it'll be bumping around too much to use it. I also like on the screen how it shows you what's happening with the drive line, and then like I said, the drive modes. You've got a comfort, track, rock, and then a Baja mode that you can switch between, and then again, it's live valve Fox shocks, so the shocks will adjust depending on the mode. There's also physical buttons at the bottom of the screen to go into different elements or adjust different things like the volume. Down below we've got a 12-volt little bit of storage, and then we have our shifter here. So you notice we have an L and an H. We'll be doing H today because we're on the road, but this does have a low range. Again, it's a CVT, so it's a little bit different compared to a low range that you'll see in a car with a traditional 2-speed transfer case. Like you just pull it down into L rather than going into neutral and then switching the transfer case. So different, but it works. Anywho, we do have some cup holders here, and it looks like we actually have a center console. Sorry, the harness is in the way. The console, this is a little bit of a thing. It looks like there's a 12-volt inside too. But yeah, nice that we've got more storage. And yeah, I probably should have mentioned, you do have harnesses instead of seat belts, which with something that has 28 inches of travel, I think that's what you're gonna want. There's two different four-wheel drive variants, the Premium and the Ultimate. The Premium starts at about 34 before accessories and all of that. The Ultimate starts at about 40 before all of the accessories. If memory serves me right, this one was like mid-40s after everything. Check out their website for exact pricing, and well, let's take it out. Okay, so obviously we don't have a windshield. That means there's gonna be a lot of wind noise. What I'm going to do, actually, let's turn this off so I can you guys can hear me better. What I'm going to do is, when I am going at slower speeds where there's not so much wind buffeting, you guys will be able to hear me, give you guys some impressions. But also, you know, this channel is about showing how a vehicle actually performs and what it's like. So part of this is going to be wind noise in the real world. So yeah, there'll be buffeting. I mean, you guys can obviously just skip past the, you know, driving parts and just focus on the less driving parts if you guys want to hear my impressions on it. But yeah, I mean, no windshield, so that's gonna happen. I want to demonstrate the low here. Okay, so this is no gas, this is high. So you guys can see I'm moving, and I gotta kind of get into it to get the vehicle to move. So now, just gonna reverse here quickly. And there is a backup camera too. I should have mentioned that earlier. Okay, so now we're gonna do low, and it's not even moving now. And if I get into it, it's like, it's really like a low range. It's quite impressive, the torque and everything. So I think that's a big plus. And let me make sure this is, hopefully that's correct. Now, like I said, we're just in, so I can switch into four-wheel drive if I wanted to. And I'll show you guys the turning radius in four-wheel drive. Let's actually put it in high, because we don't need low right now. So, I mean, it's not that bad, actually. Let's put it into two-wheel drive. I like how easy it is to switch between the two. Oh, that's way tighter. Yeah, so it does improve the turning radius quite a bit. So, we'll do comfort first. This thing's quick. So I'm gonna pop it into track now. So you can see it's in track now. I will say this thing's really, like, the steering is fantastic. There's so much suspension travel that, like, nothing in the road exists. It's really cool how well this soaks everything up. Again, live valve's incredibly impressive. You do live valve plus 28 inches of travel and it's gonna be extremely impressive. Man, there's more traffic here than I think there would be. This thing gets up and moves. Gonna pop it back into comfort. So here, what we'll do now is we'll pop it into Baja for the shocks. bump, it like doesn't even... Look at this. It just like this is a curve, but it just, so much travel. So yeah, the control with this thing is fantastic, and the back end actually kind of steps out a little bit. Again, it's rear wheel drive, so this kind of drives like a sports car. It's really exciting. It's really exciting. So yeah, I mean, in conclusion, this has, I can't test the travel on road, but what I can tell you is this, other than obviously the noise, or you can get a windshield and stuff with these, it's super comfortable. It's like one of the most comfortable vehicles you could actually drive, believe it or not. The seats are amazingly comfortable, the steering's great, and this is so much fun because, like I said, the back end you can kind of feel, it kind of steps a little bit, and you have so much travel, so you got this kind of like wallowy back and forth, but then in track mode it's super tight. Yeah, I mean, this thing drives great. I mean, I could tell you, again, we'll probably do an off-road test down the road, but I can just tell you this thing, you can tell that it's crazy and it could handle lots of stuff. But let me guys think about this new Pro S, and if you guys want to see more reviews of these side-by-sides, let me know.